Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. The last work day before Christmas. I know some of you might not be able to see this right now. I'm going to post it on my other websites through my YouTube channel. It's the only time really today I had to do this, so that's why I'm doing it at 8:30 in the morning. I will say that I'm still looking for a little bit of feedback on better times to do it. Facebook analysis say between 1 and 4. So I'm not really sure what works for everybody else. So I'm trying to dial that in. Maybe it's noontime when everybody's off at lunchtime. So I will be glad to take any feedback on the best time to do these. However, as I said today, I was kind of limited on time, and this came to me this morning when I was meditating to talk about this. And trust. Trust is a big issue for a lot of people, in more ways than one. But for me, it started yesterday or the day before in meditation when I was meditating. And God simply asked me, Randy, do you trust me? Do you trust me? Do you trust God? And I got stuck. And because I got stuck, I knew the answer was no. Now, it's kind of twofold because I trust him intellectually. I can say that I trust him, but I don't trust him wholeheartedly as of yet. And then this morning in my meditation is the same thing came back up. Randy, do you trust me? There's a lot going on right now in my life. It's all good. It's all big. It's all way bigger than I am. I could tell you about one, the foundation. I'm diving headfirst into that. I'm doing some intensive work to lay out what that foundation looks like to some board members. There's two other projects. One I will tell you about at the first of the year, and the other I will tell you about when I'm allowed to tell you about it. That's all I can tell you about right now on those two, but they're both bigger than me. And I was told by my pastor a long time ago, how do you know it's from God? Not your own understanding. And he says, Randy, if it's bigger than you, then it's likely from God. And everything I've done in the last 6 years has been way bigger than me. The visions, the dreams, way bigger than me. About a year ago, when I sat down with my pastor, we had a conversation about his vision for me. Kathy and I had dinner afterwards. And she said this to me. And she's behind me 100%. And she says, Randy, you are going to have to trust God more than you have ever trusted him before in your life on this journey. You're just going to have to let go and surrender completely. And I was set back when she said that. Trust God. This morning I was thinking about, do I trust God? And a lot of times what I've done is I will review my life. I'll look back over my life. And as I do that, I've inevitably can see where God has done for me what I couldn't do for myself. Did I trust God on that Saturday morning in 1972 after the motorcycle accident? And I died. I'm laying on the ground and I hear the soft whisper in my ear, Randy, you're dying. Keep fighting for your life and never quit fighting for your life. I'm not going to leave you, but you have to fight. You're dying. Did I trust God that he wouldn't leave me then? Here I am. Yeah, I trusted him. And the doctor said he should not be alive. This was a pure miracle. We did not have anything to do with Randy living. There was power greater than us that saved Randy. We couldn't do it. So did I trust God then? I had no choice. And I did. And here I am living. Did I trust God every time I got in trouble? You know, the God that I was really mad at because of all the abuse I suffered and parents that were extremely hypocritical and judgmental and abusive, and growing up in a Christian home with that. And at the age of 18, I turned my back. I turned my back on God, on the church. So this is what God's about. I want nothing to do with it. And so for 38 years, I did what I wanted to do. But yet every time I was to get in trouble, who did I call out to? The God that I was mad at. The God that I didn't think cared about me. And every time I called out to him, every time, he pulled through for me. The times when I was laying in bed after doing way too much cocaine and way too much alcohol. And what I know today after going through treatment and seminars, that I had done lethal amounts of both. I should have died those nights. And I called out to God, please God, don't let me die. I love my family too much. I need to be here for my family. And here I sit before you today. The night I should have gone to jail after a car accident, driving drunk. I mean, drunker than a skunk. I knew I was going to jail, and I went back to the back of my truck and said, God, please get me out of this mess one more time, and I promise. That was the last prayer from the foxhole. And I didn't go to jail, miraculously. I was all prepared. They told me, Mr. Boyd, have a nice night, drive home carefully. Do I trust God? I have no reason not to. February 1st, 2006, that little whisper in my ear from God, Randy, your get out of jail free cards are used up. You need help and you need it now. I knew exactly what he was saying when those get out of jail free cards are all used up. I knew that if I didn't listen to that voice, because I knew that voice, I've heard it before, a soft, gentle whisper, not somebody damning me and beating me up, but the soft, gentle whisper. I knew if I didn't listen to that voice that I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now. I would be incarcerated or more likely 6 feet under by now, the rate I was going. So did I trust God? I must have, because I listened to that voice, and I now have 12 years of sobriety. I have a loving family. It's been completely restored. I must have. I must have. Did I trust God in 2011 when I'm sitting in my office and he called me out of a 40-year career in construction into the ministry? A 40-year career in construction. Hey, Topeka. A 6-figure salary. Anything I wanted, I could do. Anywhere I wanted to go, I could go. Did I trust God that when he called me out of that 40-year career into this ministry, that he was going to have my back? I must have, because here I am. So that question, do you trust God? Do you trust God? Do you trust him in your heart? I know intellectually we do. And so when I review this, I look at this and it's like, yeah, I can say that I trust God. Then where am I going wrong? And actually, trust is a result of having strong faith. And faith is another story. So the reality is where's my faith at? I have no reason not to trust God, because when I look back over my life, he's it's evident that he's been there. It's evident that it wasn't God that hurt me. God gives man free will. And therefore, it's man that hurt me, not God. And that could go in a whole other conversation with some people. They don't understand it. So where's my faith right now? Am I lacking in faith? So as I was looking at this, there's a big thing with trust with men and probably and likely with women too. And there's this alignment with our Father in heaven and our Father on earth. Now I'm not going to go into this today. I'm going to do this conversation next week. Probably on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. But there's a big lack of trust, and it mainly, I believe, due to the fact of our Father here on earth. And I'll go deep into this on my next conversation. We can't trust this man in our life that's supposed to take care of us. How are we supposed to trust an entity that we can't see? Okay? So we have to work on that in our life. And that takes time. We have to learn that people are going to let us down. That's inevitable. But again, if I look back, do a journey backwards in my life, which I think is really healthy to do now that I'm in recovery, because I do that backwards journey as a way to see where I've come and how God has worked in my life. Okay? About 10 years ago, in a meditation, and I'm going to talk about the spiritual abuse that is done to children by unknowing parents, by unknowing pastors. In meditation one morning, it came to me that God spoke to me clearly that, Randy, the scarring is deeper than you'll ever imagine, and the damage is incomprehensible. And I remember I wrote it down. I go, well, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? Well, the damage is incomprehensible to those who are in the world that haven't experienced any kind of abuse. I mean, just look at the media today. They have no clue of the damage that's done to people by the abuse. Okay, so that part I got. And the scarring is deeper than you'll ever imagine. I've done a lot of work, a lot of uncovering, a lot of peeling the onion, and I've thought I've done it all. And in the program of AA, they say more will be revealed, and believe me, more is being revealed. Again, we'll go back. Intellectually, we can say we trust God. Words are easy to spit out of our mouth, but do we really? And where's that lack of trust, that lack of faith coming from? What happened in our lives that we don't have that faith, or that lack of faith, or that lack of trust? So that's what we have to examine in ourselves, and that's what we want to work on in order to grow fully. Uncover where our damages come from. Uncover where these scars are coming from. It's painful, although it gets less painful. This isn't real painful to me. It's just like, wow, this is eye-opening. You know, I want to say this. You know, it's real easy for you to walk around. Yeah, I trust God. Life is grand. Life is wonderful. When you got a fairly good job, you got a family that's fairly intact, and you're traveling the world, or you just, you got all the material things in your life, which, don't get me wrong, material things are definitely, they enhance your life, and I do miss them. But when I start getting them back, it's not going to be for the old reason, it's going to be for a new reason. When you're sitting on top of a ladder you've climbed in the corporate world, and you're on top of the world, it's real easy to trust and feel good about yourself. But let me ask you a question. Have all that stuff yanked out from underneath you. Have it all taken away. Then where's your trust? Then where's your faith? Quiet, don't say nothing if you haven't had it done. It's real easy to say, well, just pick up and move on. I've had that said to me before by a business person that has never lost it all. I haven't lost it all, but I mean, I've got my wife and my family in my house, but it's real easy to walk on top of the world when, for the most part, your world is pretty rosy all the time. But when it's not, where's your faith and trust then? It's just a question. What I've seen, what I've witnessed, those people that are walking on top of the world thinking they got the world by the cojones, when they lose something, they lose everything, including sobriety, including the serenity, including their peace. There's a thing called the authentic self. And it wasn't until we let the business go in 2011 that I realized how much my identity was attached to Macon Construction. The next year was the hardest year of my life because Randy didn't know who he was without all that stuff, without all that money. Today I'm at peace with all that. Oh, believe me, I wish I had money. I'm not going to lie. I mean, but again, it's for a different reason. It's not for the selfish reasons I had before. So I'm kind of getting off topic. I apologize. So do you trust God? Really, down in the depths of your heart, trust God? Do you, down in the depths of your heart, really have faith that no matter what you walk into, it's going to be taken care of? Remember, Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own standing. Are you leaning on your own understanding? Are you battling your own understanding, what God tells us? We all have work to do. So let's just enjoy the journey together. So I think that's it for today. I can carry on with this stuff. I love talking about all this stuff. So on probably on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not sure yet, after the holiday, I'm going to work on a post about this alignment with our Father in heaven, our Father here on earth. There's some scripture in there too that calls fathers to make sure that they give good gifts to their children. And I'll go into that as well on Tuesday or Wednesday. So do me a favor. Go to my YouTube channel called Healing the Man Within, and subscribe to that, and have your friends subscribe to it, please. I'm trying to build that audience up. There's some things that are happening over the next year that are going to be real beneficial to being a member of or subscribing to the YouTube channel. And some workshops coming up with Topeka. Some other things coming up over the next year. So thanks for joining me today. Let's say if you didn't get here today, I understand it's 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. And actually, I think I was supposed to do this at 8:30 in the morning, and I missed it. Darn it. I posted 8:30 and I did it at 9. I apologize. Well, anyways, I will see you next week. Have a super, super blessed Christmas and a great day. Talk to you later. Goodbye. Ay.